NASCAR Cup Series race officially concluded from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and what looked like was going to be a dominant win for Christopher Bell turns into a fuel mileage finish where Joey Logano locks his way into the championship 4 at Phoenix. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the South Point 400. We have quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So before the green flag drop in today's race, Ryan Blaney would have to go to the rear after crashing in practice, would have to go to the rear for a backup car. So at the start of the race here, Christopher Bell lead the field from the inside with, I believe, the outside being Tyler Reddick, and Christopher Bell got a fantastic run and was able to clear for the race lead. Tyler Reddick tried to challenge early in the event but could not get by, and Christopher Bell continued to dominate. Meanwhile, everyone continued to pull out, and Christopher Bell had about a 2 to 3 second lead through the first 25 laps of the race. And then green flag pit stops to start. On lap 32, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe came in, with Chase Briscoe getting a safety violation. Then the next lap, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, they all came down pit road. Then the next lap, Alex Bowman, Carson Hocevar, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Todd Gillen, Josh Berry, Harrison Burton, John Hunter Nemechek, those guys came down pit road, and Denny Hamlin had a bad pit stop. And then the next lap, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Hemrick came in, and then after everyone had cycled back out, Christopher Bell was cycled back out front for the race lead. Christopher Bell then would continue to dominate the race and would be out by about 4 or 5 seconds, but then everything would change on lap 64. Daniel Hemrick made some contact with Austin Dillon as Hemrick just ran completely into the back of Austin Dillon, spinning him out in turn number 3. Austin Dillon hit the outside wall really hard, unfortunate in his day, bringing out the caution. Do not know what Daniel Hemrick was doing there, to be honest. Tough break for Austin Dillon. I know he was complaining after the race, but tough break there for Austin Dillon. So then all the lap cars have come down pit road, with Mark Truex Jr. winning the race off pit road with 2 tires, and Tyler Reddick coming off first with 4. So then you saw some guys like Stenhouse, Smith, Harrison Burton, Hemrick, Gillen, Ryan Preece, all those guys took wave run to get back on the lead lap. And they were about to go green, but Eric Jones had a wheel come off of his car, extending the caution by a few laps, had to take a 2-lap penalty. So then on the restart, you have Mark Truex Jr. lead the field from the inside with William Byron on the outside, and Mark Truex Jr. got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, a couple laps later, Tyler Reddick, he got a great run on Mark Truex Jr., and he was able to pass Mark Truex Jr. for the race lead. Then Christopher Bell got by Martin to get up to second. He tried everything to get up there to Tyler Reddick, but Tyler Reddick had a big enough lead, and coming off the corner, Tyler Reddick would win stage number 1. So then we saw a little bit of strategy where Denny Hamlin, for some reason, decided to stay out while everyone else came down pit road. Ty Gibbs, unfortunately, got a penalty. He was the first off of pit road. He actually won the race off pit road, and Christopher Bell was the first off pit road with 4 tires. Meanwhile, Shane Van Gisbergen and Daniel Suarez and Michael McDowell had penalties on pit road. And then you saw Bubba Wallace come back down pit road to try to fix a loose wheel. And then the next lap, Kyle Larson, he came down pit road because he had the brace stuck on the grill and would go to the tail end. So then on the restart, you had Denny Hamlin lead the field from the inside with Ty Gibbs on the outside, and Ty Gibbs got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. He tried to start pulling away, and then the biggest incident of the race would take place on lap number 90 when Mark Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott made contact coming off of turn number 4. Truex went up the racetrack. Tyler Reddick was up on the outside. They all start spinning out with Truex making it through. Elliott, Reddick, and Keselowski gets clipped in that. Austin Center gets clipped, and Ryan Blaney also gets clipped. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick coming down in front straightaway, he flips upside down, gets a ton of damage on his race car, and has a destroyed race car. His day, unfortunately, ends up coming to an end, and Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney, 2 playoff contenders, their chances go through. I don't know what Mark Truex Jr. was doing there, to be honest with you. Truex has kind of not carried these last couple weeks. He kind of just came up the racetrack and kind of put him in the wall there and just didn't really have surroundings at that moment. That took a lot of guys out of contention. Tough break for a lot of really strong cars. So then on the restart, you had Ty Gibbs lead the field from the outside with Joey Logano on the inside, and Ty Gibbs got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then meanwhile, we basically saw Kyle Larson. He was charging his way up to the front as Denny Hamlin also was dropping back. But then on lap 111, Christopher Bell caught Ty Gibbs and was able to pass Ty Gibbs for the race lead. And then a few laps later, green flag pit stops to start. Denny Hamlin will come down pit road first. Then a few laps later, Alex Bowman came in. Then the next lap, Kyle Busch came in. And then the next lap, Buescher, Logano, Truex, and Stenhouse came in. And then a lap 122, Ross Chastain, I believe Ty Gibbs, and a lot of other guys, they came down pit road, including Jimmy Johnson. I believe a couple other top leaders came down pit road. But all of a sudden, Ty Gibbs and Ross Chastain, two of the strongest cars, they would unfortunately end up getting speeding penalties and would get sent to the tail and unfortunately get sent back and had to come down pit road to serve the penalty. And then the next lap, Bubba Walls, John Nemechek, Dale Hammer came in. And then we saw Christopher Bell come down pit road one lap, and then Kyle Larson came down the next lap. And unfortunately, Kyle Larson, this is where his chances to win come to an end. Kyle Larson has a terrible pit stop, has a slow stop on the right rear, and then he has to come back down pit road to get the left rear tight. This unfortunately took Kyle Larson at the time out of contention to get the victory. He would unfortunately end up going 2 laps down. Once everything had cycled through, Cristobal got by Daniel Suarez and took the lead on lap 150. But you had some guys staying out like Daniel Suarez who were trying to play a little bit of strategy at that point. And Mark Truex Jr. was right behind him. Meanwhile, Don Gillen had a flat left rear tire, and he would have to come down pit road. Truex tried everything for a couple laps, but it would not be enough. And coming off the corner, Cristobal would end up winning stage number 2. And then all lead lap cars would come down pit road with Denny Hamlin having to come back up to basically fix a loose wheel, and Cristobal would end up winning the race off of pit road. So then on the restart, you had Cristobal lead the field from the inside with Mark Truex Jr. on the outside, and Cristobal got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs was doing everything he could to get back by Kyle Larson to be in the free pass position, but unfortunately going down the back straightaway, this is where the race would change with the final caution coming out when Ty Gibbs spun down the back straightaway and would lose several laps, and Kyle Larson unfortunately was able, and for him, he got back on the lead lap. Ty Gibbs just lost it off the corner, lost all the air on the car, and unfortunately ended up spinning out. So then, all lead lap cars have been pit with Christopher Bell winning the race off of pit road. So then on the restart, you had Christopher Bell lead the field from the inside with Mark Truex Jr. on the outside, and Christopher Bell got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson was moving his way up to the front and got up to 15th position. And then we saw some strategy. First, Chris Buescher came down pit road. Then the next lap, Mark Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Carson Hocevar came in. Then the next lap, Justin Haley came in. And then the next lap, Alex Bowman, Harrison Byrne came in. And then Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Dale Hemrick, all those guys would come down pit road. And then the next lap, William Byron and Bubba Walls, they would come down pit road. But you had a group of drivers that were playing a strategy to go to the end. Among those was Daniel Suarez, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin. I believe that Noah Gragson and Corey LaJoie were among the guys that were trying to play the strategy to go for the win. Meanwhile, you had Christopher Bell, who was charging his way up to the front and was gaining a second to 1.5 seconds every single lap and was cutting down a second one lap. And then he continued to gain a ton of time. But with about 10 to 15 laps to go, he got stuck a little bit behind in traffic and lost a ton of ground. And then with about 10 laps to go in this race, Joey Logano started making a ton of ground up on Daniel Suarez and got the run he needed and made the pass on Daniel Suarez with around 6 laps to go. But you have Christopher Bell, who is continuing the charge. Bell eventually gets around Suarez with about 3 laps to go, gets the run on him, and makes the run to the inside to get up to second. And Christopher Bell is absolutely charging. With the fresh tires and gaining a ton of ground, we were wondering if Joey Logano was going to have enough gas to make it to the finish. Coming to the white flag, Christopher Bell was 1.1 seconds back and was continuing to close as much as possible. But unfortunately for Christopher Bell, he would run out of time and Joey Logano would have the gas. And coming off the final corner, Joey Logano picks up his 3rd win of the 2024 season and locks his way into the Championship 4 with the win, holding off a hard-charging Christopher Bell. What an absolute incredible finish here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I did not think Joey Logano was going to make it to the end, but I remember back at Nashville when Joey Logano had enough gas to make it to the checkered flag. And now Joey Logano is going to have a chance and opportunity to race for a championship. Now, that still is definitely questionable that Joey Logano is in. Obviously, Joey Logano originally did not make it to the round of 8, but because Alex Bowman got disqualified, he made it. Joey Logano is probably going to be one of the biggest Mickey Mouse champions, however, if he does, in fact, win the championship. And he's probably going to have a chance to do it because he's good at Phoenix. And that's the problem with the playoff format. He was 15th in the standings going into the playoffs, behind guys like Bubba Walls and Ross Chastain and Chris Buescher all year long. And now because Joey Logano got a win at Vegas on fuel mileage, by the way, he races for a championship now. I'm ready for the year to be over at this point, but congratulations, Joey Logano getting his 3rd win of the year. I believe it's also his 34th or 35th career NASCAR Cup Series win, so congratulations, Logano, on getting his 3rd win of the season. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the race results. I'll give my score thoughts on today's race. So Joey Logano picks up the victory. Christopher Bell finishes second. 1 lap away from winning this race. Bell definitely had the best car by a mile today, and it looked like he was easy going to win the race. They just pitted 1 lap too soon. They, I think, had a little bit of a slow pit stop the last time, unfortunately, and that cost him a shot and opportunity. A great day for Bell, though. Nothing to be ashamed of. They're looking really good going into the next race at Homestead. A solid day for Bell. A fantastic run. Not enough to get it done, but a great day for him. He finishes second. Daniel Suarez finishes third. Suarez was legitimately inside the top 10 before the field match come in. They were struggling early in this race, but they made that 99 car a lot better, and he gets the top 5. A great day for Daniel Suarez, who continues to get better as the year has gone on. A really good day, great field mileage finish. He finishes in third. William Byron finished fourth. Really good run for William Byron. He continues his really strong run in these playoffs. He was actually faster than some of the guys in front of him. He was the fastest car on the racetrack, it looked like, at the end. Just ran out of time. A really great day for William Byron, though. He finishes in fourth. Alex Bowman finishes fifth. It looked like he was catching Christopher Bell near the end of the event. Just ran out of time to get the victory, but a really good day for Alex Bowman to get a top 5 finish. He should be in this next round. Really hate that Hendrick kind of let him down at this point. Still a really good day for Alex Bowman to get a top 5 finish. A very solid performance for him. Mark Truex Jr. finished 6th. He had race-winning speed early, but lost some of the speed as the run progressed and the race continued. Still a really good day for Truex, who continues to run better in the second half. He finished 6th. Ross Chastain finished 7th. A great recovery from that speeding penalty that he had. He had a legit top 5, top 10 speed most of the day. Didn't have the fastest car out there, but a really good day for him. He finished 7th. Denny Hamlin finished 8th. Great recovery for Denny Hamlin. He played the fuel mileage strategy at the end. He did end up recovering to get at least a decent finish. He was terrible at the beginning of this race. Was outside of the top 10 and top 15 a lot of the day. They were terrible on pit road. The car just had no speed, but they played the fuel strategy and they get a very solid top 15 run. Good day for Denny Hamlin. How about John Hunter Nemechek finishing 9th? A good run for John Hunter to get a top 10 finish. Played the field strategy and comes home in the top 10. It's been a disastrous season for this 42 team, so good to see him get a top 10. And Chris Buescher finishes in 10th. Buescher had a top 5 car, faded back a little bit, had some bad pit stops, lost some time near the end, but still a really good day nonetheless for Chris Buescher. He finishes 10th. Kyle Larson finished 11th. A fantastic recovery for Kyle Larson. Considering they really struggled on pit road today, he comes home with a solid top 15 finish. I think Larson was my pick going into this race to win. They just didn't have the car to win the race, but they did recover and they put on a championship level run. A great comeback for the organization, a championship level run. A good day for Larson. He finishes in 11th. Bubba Wallace finished 12th. Solid run for Bubba. Ran top 10 a lot of this race, as far up as 5th at one point. I think they had a bad pit stop at the end. It cost him a shot at getting a better finish. It was still a really good day nonetheless for Bubba to get another top 15. He continues to have solid runs. He finished 12th. Kyle Busch finished 13th. Ran top 10 a lot of this race. Just lost some time, though, at the end. A really decent day for Busch, though. He finished in 13th. Corey LaJoie finishes in 14th. Not a bad run for him. Harrison Burton finished 15th. Want to give him a shout out. He legit was inside the top 10 near the end of this event. Good solid run for Harrison to get a top 15 before he leaves the organization to go to AM Racing next year and replace Haley Deegan. Zane Smith finished 16th. Justin Haley finished 17th. Want to give him a shout out. He legit had top 5 and top 10 speed a lot of the day. They lost some of the handling near the end of the event, unfortunately, but to get a top 20 finish, not a bad day. The Spire cars showed some really good speed in the race today. A really good run for Justin to finish 17th. Noah Gragson finishes 18th. Dale Hemrick finished 19th. Mike McDowell finishes in 20th. Cody Ware finished 21st. Solid run for Cody Ware, in all honesty. He legit had a top 25 run. One of his better runs I've seen him run this year. So a good day for Cody Ware to get a top 25. Ryan Preece finished 22nd. Carson Osbar finished 23rd. Josh Berry finished 24th. Eric Jones finished 25th. Chase Briscoe finished 26th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 27th. Jimmy Johnson finished 28th. He actually finished a racer once, so that's really good to see. He finished in 28th. Shane Van Gisbergen finished 29th, gets a top 30 finish. Not an awful day for him, not a great day, but at least comes home with a top 30 finish and did complete as many laps as possible. Ty Gibbs finished 30th, finished 3 laps down because of that tire issue, was already a lap down. He had a car that I think was capable of winning this race. Unfortunately, he just lost adjustments. He finished in 30th. Todd Gillen finished 31st. Ryan Blaney finished 32nd. He at least comes across and finishes the race, but a tough break for Ryan Blaney to not get it done. He finished 32nd. Chase Elliott finishes 33rd. Disappointing day for Chase Elliott after having a car that honestly had speed to win this race today. A car that had a chance to win just got involved in that wreck with Keselowski and Reddick and those guys. He finished 33rd. Austin Cindric finished 34th. Tyler Reddick finished 35th. Brad Keselowski finished 36th. And Austin Dillon finished last in 37th place. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings going into the second race of the round in Homestead. And we'll talk about the overall race as a whole. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after the first race of the round of 8. So Joey Logano, of course, is advanced to the next round. Christopher Bell's up by 42 points. Kyle Larson's 35 up, and William Byron is 27 points up. Denny Hamlin's 27 points below. Tyler Reddick is 30 below. Ryan Blaney's 47 below, and Chase Elliott is 53 points below. Pretty much at this point, all 4 drivers below Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott, all 4 of those guys are a must-win. I think at this point, the top 4 that are in are pretty much most likely going to be the 4 racing for a championship. So basically, I think the 4 above will likely be racing for a championship. So I think Logano, Bell, Larson, and Byron are safe. So now let's talk about the overall race as a whole. I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. Honestly, this Vegas race was pretty good in my opinion. It kind of started off slow. Christopher Bell put up a really dominant clinic early, and it was definitely not impossible to pass, but that 20 car was super, super strong. But as the race progressed and went on, you had some challengers. Mark Truex Jr. showed up. You, of course, had William Byron catching him at the end. And Bell looked like he was easily going to win the race. However, the field mileage came in and it made it for a very intriguing and exciting race. Before the really exciting fuel mileage finish, I probably would have given this race probably a 6.5 around that area, or a 7 or around that area. But because of the fuel mileage finish, I'm moving the score up a little bit. I'm going to give today's race overall an 8 out of 10. It had some very good intrigue throughout the event. It was very exciting. Vegas can put on some really good stuff. Yes, the next-gen car definitely needs a little bit of work at this track. 30 years still a major, major thing. But I do think today's race is pretty solid. I'll give today's race 8 out of 10. So, that is going to be it for the NASCAR Cup Series race review from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram and support on Patreon as well. List description below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts about today's NASCAR Cup race? Let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Joey Logano on picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we'll have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days. I also do have an SVG video most likely dropping tonight as well, talking about his race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I've also got some other content dropping this week. Of course, we'll be doing the entry list video for this week at Homestead, and we'll also will have the race picks video for the truck race on Tuesday. And I got a lot of awesome, great content dropping this week that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. Also talk about Carl, all those people as well this week, and Kurt Busch too. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.